Hi guys, so don't mind my messy hair. I just got up from a nap a little bit ago because I had to be up at 5 a.m. this morning. I only worked 6 to 1:30, which is literally a half hour less than I normally do, but that's a big deal for me. Or like tomorrow, I'm going to be working 6 to 11. That's a big deal for me. Anyway, so I took a nap when I got, or not when I got home, a little bit ago. I did get back from my furry convention, obviously. You can just see my normal wall behind me. My lovely green wall back there. Anyway, I did not record while I was there, only because I did not have access to the internet, or at least we thought we didn't until like the last night when we realized we had free Wi-Fi the whole time. I was just like, okay then. So there you go. But I'll tell you guys as much as I can about it in like 15 minutes. First of all, you're probably wondering what this blue set of fur is beside me, and that is my fursuit head. I wanted to show you guys because before I show you, I was supposed to originally have my main fursona, Tegan, at the con. But my best friend, who made this fursuit head for me and is going to make Tegan for me, didn't have the right colored fur and wouldn't have gotten it in time. But they had like this turquoisey blue, white, and black. So we're like, okay, let's just make a new fursona. And this was like, they had a week and a half to 2 weeks left to do this. And if you ever seen a fursuit, you should know that it takes a lot of time and work. And I am so grateful to my best friend. Well, anyway, so we just made a new fursona named Sky, and this, my friends, is Sky. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't see him very well. It is a he. He is a fennec fox. And it is just a lot of fun to wear this, trust me. I don't really want to wear it right this second, but he even has a little mohawk thing going. His eyes are complete. You can't really see it very well, but there is mesh in the middle that is slightly different looking than the outside of the eye, giving the eye a 3D follow-me look. Can't see the pupils very well, or the mesh very well. You're not going to be able to tell. Anyway, so the first night we got there, I was jumping around like crazy because I was just really, really excited. The closest I've ever been to a furry convention was wearing my fursuit at OhioCon a few years ago and talking about going to Anthrocon. And then it never happened because I left the fandom, and then I stopped talking to all my old friends. Speaking of which, I saw like 4 old friends there. It was amazing. I mean, I probably saw more, I just didn't recognize them at that second or anything. But that's what I love about furries. I think I've known at least 1 or 2 people who've actually left the fandom, and as far as I know, haven't gone back into it. But it's like, being a furry is so much fun, you don't really want to leave. And that's why I do my best to introduce people to the furry fandom, because it is a lot of fun. People think, thanks to the media, that furries are gross and disgusting and have sex in fursuits. I will not lie. There is a very small percentage that actually do. And I will not fault them. That is completely their thing, as long as they're consenting adults and who they're doing it with is a consenting adult. I have no say in what goes on behind those closed doors. There's probably a lot of sex going on behind closed doors at Anthrocon. I went through the whole weekend without sex, and anyway, that was fun. Anyway, so the first night we got there, just walked around a little bit, got our badges, I don't think there was a whole lot going on. There was a rave there at Anthrocon. There are 3 raves. I've been to a total of 4 different cons. This being the only furry one. This also being the only one where the rave is not just one night. There were 3 of them. The first night, my boyfriend was really sick and couldn't go, so I just hopped in bed with him and went to sleep. The second night, I was the one not feeling good, so my boyfriend went off and had fun for a bit, which I don't care. I'm glad he could enjoy a rave, especially because the last night, Saturday night, I ended up going, but only went for like an hour, if that. And I feel really bad because I really did want to go. I love raves. And I really, really wanted to go to these raves, and I don't know. Next year I really would like to go to all 3. But anyway, starting Friday when we got up and left the hotel, I wore my fursuit for pretty much the whole weekend. Which was a lot of fun, especially because we stayed at the Omni in Pittsburgh. Sorry, that's where this was in Pittsburgh. And it's like a good 4 or 5 block walk. It's not that bad. And we took a shuttle a couple of times only because I was really tired. And one time it was raining really badly, or not even really badly, but it was raining, kind of. And personally, I don't really care about getting my fursuit that wet. The only thing I would normally worry about would be wearing my feet, which I don't have feet for this persona, so because getting in the dirt and mud and stuff. But I don't normally care because it's like as long as it'll dry okay, which we had an AC unit that was like, the grate was like this big in the windowsill, and it was perfect for cooling down my head. But anyway, Friday, the first day, we were walking up, and this girl stopped traffic, hopped out of her car, and said, "Can I please have a picture with you?" to me. And I was like, yes! That was pretty fantastic. And then, on our way to brunch Saturday, what we assume to be a dad and son were walking by, when they're like, "We've seen you guys all over the place, can we please get a picture?" And I'm like, yes. This is probably one of the biggest reasons I'm a furry, because, and I dress up in a fursuit, although it's like inches thick of foam. Like, I'm not even kidding. There's, I think, in some spots, it's a good like 3, 4, 5 inches of foam. And if I'm exaggerating, it's only slightly. Now this being in like 70, 80 degree Pittsburgh weather, which this year supposedly was a lot nicer than past years, so I'm glad my first year I could really enjoy it without passing out half the time. Anyway, the reason I really do this, the dressing up, the walking around, I'd even do this without a convention. And that's because it's a lot of fun. First of all, you're mysterious. No one knows who you are. They'll look at you and just see this cute little fluffy face. They'll want to pet you and hug you and love on you, and it's great. I'll admit it might be a little weird at first. I mean, I used to not be a furry. It was a little weird to me to be like, why are these people dressing up in costumes? And the only reason we might be seen as unclean or unbathed is because we'll spend several hours in that thing. But if we're good, and I'm a good one, we will shower when we're done. And if we don't shower that night, we'll shower the next morning. But no more. No later. We shower pretty much right after we get out of that thing. I do not have a full fursuit, which is one of the ones you might see more often. Those ones cover the entire body. Not in foam, but fur, which is still thick. Right, I was going to continue going on about why furries are great. I should also let you guys know, Anthrocon raises money for charities. And it's not just Anthrocon. A lot of other cons do it. People by themselves as furries will do it. Mainly for, I believe it's mainly for animal shelters, although I think we do a couple different ones. I cannot remember off the top of my head who we donated to this year. But if I'm correct, I think it was almost $34,000. If you still think of bad or furries, I'm sorry. You must have had a really bad experience with one. Because for the most part, furries are great. They may not be like tall, muscular, tanned, and sexy, but they're not ugly. Especially their hearts. Yeah, I'm gonna go there. Furries are pretty awesome. I'm not even kidding about that. I'm not saying you should go off and befriend a whole bunch of furries or go off and be a furry yourself. You know, if you don't really care for the idea, that's fine. You should still befriend a furry just because we're awesome. I'm running out of time on this. But it was a lot of fun. I definitely suggest for anybody conventions, not just furry conventions or not just anime conventions. Comic-Cons are things too. But they're a lot of fun. Trust me. You get to spend, depending on when the con is, you spend months at a time saving up money, preparing, making costumes, putting them together, making sure you have everything. The last week is like the most stressful part of it because it's like, oh my god, I forgot to do this. Oh my god, I need to make this. It's really, really stressful for any convention. Even for normal people, like business conventions. Those things can be stressful if you don't know what you're doing. Anyway, but once you've packed up and you have everything you'll need, and you're on your way to that convention, that's when the excitement sets in. Well, you'll be excited all week, but you'll also be mixing it with stress. And after the stress has melted away and you're like, alright, I'm good, I'm on my way, here we go. If you are going to go to a convention, go with friends. If not, meet up with friends there. If not, make friends. It's not, I mean, it's still fun, but it's not going to be quite as much fun if you're by yourself. This is something you can do by yourself, but it's like, oh yeah, I need to tell you about my hotel. So the Omni in Pittsburgh, the theme is 1920s. And it is downright gorgeous. I mean, the lobby's 1920s and the outside of the building, but the rooms look more modern. And I'm like, at least they're comfy. And they're really big. The rooms were really big. You know those rooms that have like 2 or 3 feet between the end of the bed and like the table or the dresser thing where the TV stands? We had like 6 or 7 feet. The bathroom was kind of tiny, and that's what gets me. It's like in situations like that, you could have made the room a little bit smaller, just so you could make the bathroom a little bit bigger. I can't think of much else. Besides, I had a lot of fun. The answer is yes. I would do it 100 times over. I was very sad. I had post-con depression coming home. Although today, I felt really great and happy, just because I was in a really good mood and everything's wonderful right now. Anyway, I'm running out of time on this. Check out cons, check out furries, check me out. Anyway, your gender and sexuality is valid no matter what. I know I didn't talk much about being trans in this video, but I want you guys to know about my life. I got nothing to hide. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Don't let my weirdness stop you. Please let me encourage you to go out and have a good time in any sense. If you are a furry or an anime lover, contact me. I want to make new friends, guys. I don't get out a whole lot, I promise you. But I will if I start making friends. Alright, bye!